Mr. Mayor, would you sit up really quickly so I can see if I get you in shot?
What were you going to do again?
I'm part of the National Collective. We're the arts group in Scotland.
Okay.
Who are doing funny stuff for the independence campaign. So I just wanted to ask you a couple questions about that, being that you're right next door. And you already know that I'm a smart ass. So, would you be willing to just hold this as a backdrop? Hold on. Yeah. There we go. So, excuse me, are you calling?
I am.
Could you check to see if the flag is in shot? How are we doing?
Yeah, it's in the shot, but you might want to lift it up a little bit.
Am I in the shot?
Yeah, now that's better. Yeah, okay. You're getting more of the actual X.
Is the red blinking dot blinking?
Yeah, it is.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so hi, my name is Robert Scusi, as you probably don't know, and I'm for the National Collective here with Mayor Jon Gnarr, who is the ex-mayor.
Yeah.
Not the band X or the X behind us, but like the ex-mayor of Reykjavik, which is the main city in Iceland, which is only city. It's the only city. Yeah, it's like, so it's definitely your favorite city in Iceland. Yeah. And something that people might not know about you is that you're an Anarcho-Surrealist, and you just kind of like out of nowhere from this really entrenched Northern European sort of parliamentarian system came up and created kind of a really interesting political revolution in your whole spot, which is American for Iceland. So I'm wondering, are you familiar with the fact that Scotland is looking to become an independent nation?
Yes, I am.
Would you like to say something about that? What's your opinion on that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really have an opinion on it. I think it's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah, I mean it's independent and it's cool, but and then I'm not into the details of it. If it's good for will it benefit the people or
well, I don't
know. I mean,
if I could ask you a couple of leading questions which have already pregnant answers in them to kind of lead you along to the answers that I want you to give, would that be okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. So, how would you feel about a country that disavowed itself of nuclear power and nuclear weaponry?
Oh, very good.
And how would you feel about a country that had no invasive army and no participation in any invasive forces in other countries?
I love all countries.
And how? Yeah. This is going pretty well.
Yes.
And how would you feel about a country with socialist democratic values that stood for the underclass and enshrined in its constitution equality for genders, free education, and free healthcare?
I would love it.
Okay, cool. And how would you feel for a country that, much like Iceland, has a really easy to draw flag? Because like in America, we have a really obnoxious flag.
Well, I would approve of such a country.
And we have something in common. I have here the yes pin and the rover pin, which is a Viking longship. And Scotland and Iceland have something in common, which is they were both founded in the 10th century by disgruntled Danish libertarians who didn't want to pay taxes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And hyperactive Danes. They were quite hyperactive.
Yeah.
Well, you used to speak what was it called? Norse?
We have Ulster Scots, and Danelaw is still used in the Shetlands. So Sheltie, which is a language there, has a heavy Danish influence.
Yes.
And we spoke Old Norse as well, because in the East Coast we have a lot of Norwegian.
Yes.
And of course the Saxon invasion, which is a related tribe, because Anglo-Saxon was an offshoot of Old Norse.
And in Orkney, everything is an Icelandic.
Yeah.
Everything, every fjord and every mountain is Icelandic.
Yeah. And in Edinburgh, half of the street names are Old Norse. Like, for instance, all of the streets have gates on them. So like there's Cowgate, Wells Gate, City Gate, and that's not gate in the door sense, but in like the walking sense, which is a Scandinavian term. Another thing is we both have a lot of Gaelic women. In fact, you got a lot of your women from Western Scotland when you founded it.
Yeah, 70% of the women. So there is a theory that it was a hyperactive Norseman who captured women, Gaelic women with ADD.
Big neck.
So
That was a great talk.
oh, thank you.
liked it.
Oh, thank you. So
So when are you bringing those women back?
any day now. Like,
Well, I mean, seeing you're moving
in
right now.
2018. June 2018.
Is that your solemn promise as a politician?
That is.
Okay, and what?
I guarantee. In June, not later than July.
No later than July in
No later than
2018.
July.
And so you're a comedian as well as you've done plays as well. Like theater?
Yeah.
Are you?
I'm more I'm past the comedian. I'm more of a philosopher, writer.
Are you thinking of turning perhaps something like Njal Saga into like a situational comedy?
Yes, I have actually thought about that.
Wait, are you serious?
Yes, I am serious.
Yo, that's fucking awesome.
That would be really awesome.
I would be, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be really awesome. I would work on that.
Yeah, they were very likely they were all gay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing gayer than poetry and swords. There's nothing gayer. When I was 12, I was really upset because I was a poet and I like swords, and I'm like, I'm never good at this because I don't like dick. Right?
Yeah.
Nothing more homoerotic than that shit. Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
I've actually thought about it, to make something out of the sagas. And all this.
Well, there's the great bit where like his friend gives him like a really great gift, and he just can't think of he can't think of an ode good enough to like qualify that gift, so he kills him.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah. I mean, all the jokes are about killing, or injuring at least. It's about it's about injuring and killing, and that's the funny.
That's a cultural that's a cultural transmission that's both Scandinavian and Gaelic, because there's nothing really quite as friendly as hitting somebody.
No.
And I'm going to ask one more serious question, so it'll probably get cut.
Yeah.
But what you talked about it before, which you're not going to see because you weren't here, and this is just a video, so calm the fuck down. But you mentioned the relationship between the kind of anarchic witnessing the meeting format in the 12-step program, and how that informed your political ideology and your political administration. Would you like to talk about that a little bit, like how that came about and what does that mean?
We like to say that the best party, as it's not a political